this is an aggregated finding that I've noticed.
What does that mean?
It's like I've seen this throughout my career.
Okay. So
it wasn't like, I saw this last week in this one account.
So this is a thought. This is a viewpoint.
Well, it's data I've seen like in a repetitive manner throughout multiple accounts. Okay. It's becoming a bit less within our clients, but I want to bring it up because I think it's relevant.
A trend.
Yeah, it's a trend.
Okay.
And it is specifically for Google, and it's all about calls from ads. And so the finding is, and I've found this in multiple accounts over my career, and it's all about we can go on a tangent with conversion tracking, but let's assume people are tracking multiple things in Google Ads and they're all created equal. Yeah. It happens every day. And so someone calls you from the website, that's a conversion. Someone calls you from an ad, that's a conversion. Someone fills out your form to schedule an appointment, that's a conversion.
Someone fills out a random ebook.
That's a conversion. And so let's assume that's a setup, which is the majority of setups that we see. The finding was within competitor terms. And so a lot of accounts have like competitor specific campaigns. Some accounts with now like broad keywords and even phrase match and exact match pulling close variants. Like you'll have a non-branded solution based keyword and Google pulls a company that does that as a search term. And so what I found in these accounts was conversions were looking really, really good.
Okay.
And so what you can do in Google is you can like segment the conversion action. And I found it was calls from ads. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't really think
someone would call for this type of product.
The sales team was really growing through calls. I thought it was more like form fills and demos. And then I went into search terms and I found most, if not all, the calls from ads were for competitor terms. And these are in industries where customer service is a very large business unit.
Naughty, 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 Google.
And so what I like, the superpower of auditing, in my opinion, is just like being realistic and really understanding like what's actually happening. And so the reality of this user experience is it's a consumer, a customer of the company, searching the company name in Google. And some of the search terms even said like customer service number. And when you do that on your phone, the end user's assumption is, Scarlett is clicking all the ads when we do this.
That is exactly how we get those conversions.
In general, like on your mobile phone, you're searching a company's name with the intention of calling their customer service, technical support, whatever it is. And so you think, well, the first number that pops up on Google is going to be the number of the company I'm searching. That's the ad. Okay. And so it's the company's ad is number one on mobile. The call extension is being pulled. And so the end user thinks they're calling a completely different company.
So they call to complain about the product to the competitor and they pay
the competitor sales team.
$7
is essentially what's happening. Wow. But in the Google account, it looks like it's going bonkers.
We're crushing.
It looks like it's the best thing in the world. And so the algorithm is now pushing all the bids to competitor campaigns. So it
becomes the customer service department for all their competitors.
Yeah.
Because Google's just running wild on this.
And so it's a trifecta of like how you're tracking, how you're telling Google like what success means to your business.
Yeah, what you're telling Google to optimize towards.
What Google's now able to pull from many match types where the intent might not be to show up for a competitor name. Like Google's targeting is loose enough for it to happen. And I know I said trifecta, but I'm blanking on a third point. And the end consumer.
Yeah,
and just what they think is happening when they Google a company name looking for their phone number. The first thing that pops up, they're not even going to read your ad.
No,
they're just going to tap on it. Call the number.
Well, and your ad might mention the other brand in it, ironically. And then you're like...
Yeah. So, I mean, there's call tracking stuff where, like, you can set the minutes of the call. Like, if it's a 2-minute call, it counts as a conversion. If it's not. So, there might be some ways to clean it up. But it was an interesting finding that I've seen plenty of times throughout my career.